A shooting death by a Ferguson police officer touched off the Black Lives Matters campaign and started a nationwide conversation about policing here in America. It's been nearly a year since Michael Brown, who was unarmed, was shot and killed by a Ferguson police officer. Well, since then, his father has been committed to keeping his son's name alive.
His father, Michael Brown Sr., joins us now live from our downtown studio, joined with City Councilwoman Mary Sheffield. First of all, thank you for joining us. And Michael, why come to Detroit? Why are you here?
I'm just here to make awareness of what's going on in Missouri and all over the world. And I came to show some support to my friend Janie Jones. She has a foundation going on down here. She was down on ground zero with us the whole way through.
Has it gotten better in your community since all of this happened?
Yeah, the community is standing up. They're standing together. We all working together to make things better for the community.
Councilwoman Sheffield, Mr. Brown is here with you and your team to go out and occupy the corner again tonight. What is the purpose of this Occupy the Corner event?
So it's the same initiative, and that's to engage young people in the inner city communities to take a stance against violence and to begin to address some of the social issues that we see that lead to crime. So oftentimes we point our fingers at young people and we don't really address the social issues, the lack of jobs, the lack of housing that they're in need of. So we try to connect these young people with the resources that they need to better their lives. So I'm just excited that Mr. Brown has come today really to stand for peace within our communities, and it's unfortunate what he went through, but he's still taking the bigger stance and making sure that we are promoting peace and better relationships with the police department within our communities.
Certainly has gotten the nation talking. Now, Michael, I know you can't talk specifics because you're pursuing a civil lawsuit, but you did write an emotional letter for Esquire this past Father's Day. In it, you say Michael told you the world would definitely know his name. It definitely does. So what do you want people to take away from the tragedy of losing your own son?
Well, I just don't want this to happen to no one else. I know I can't change what's going on, but I have to start somewhere. So this is my mission, and this is where I want my statement to be for this.
Now, Michael, you and your family have really been thrust into the national spotlight since all this happened, including being here in Detroit and doing what you're doing here. What have you learned now that you think will serve you and your family and also your community going forward?
3 R's, respect. The 3 R's, respect.
I have 3 R's: respect, restraint, and responsibility.
That's right.
And that's all we're working on.
Mr. Brown, do you have advice for Detroiters when it comes to community involvement? I know you're getting involved with our councilwoman here and even dealing with police. I know I have a young son and I tell him exactly what to do if he's confronted by police. So what's your message?
Well, it's basically the same. Just follow orders.
That's right.
When you're told to do something, just do what you're supposed to do. And if you're underage, get a badge number, get a name, and report them to your parents so your parents can take care of the issue.
Mr. Brown, in this year since then, have you recovered? Has your family recovered and found some way to move on? Is this how you move on, is carrying this message forward?
That's just the only way I can get past my time. I'm still broken, but I still have to fight, you know. So I'll fight for what I believe in. I'll fight for, you know, for my son, you know, and just keeping it at work.
Councilwoman Sheffield, we understand. Councilwoman Sheffield, let's give you the last word on this. I mean, you have Mr. Brown here. What's the takeaway for Detroiters watching the two of you on our air right now?
Just really that tonight is all about peace. It's about unity. It's about community, again, coming together, not just to have conversations. But one thing I love about Mr. Brown is that he wanted to have an intimate conversation with the policymakers today. So not only just come out and rally and protest, but really how can we make some policy changes today that would impact the residents in this city, our young people in this city, so that we would never see a situation that happened in Ferguson happen in this city. And I really quick want to give a shout out to the social impact policy that helped sponsor him to come here today. And I'm just looking forward to policy conversations, solution-driven dialogue tonight that will make sure that our young people are continue to live and they're not exploiting themselves to violence that we see within our communities.
We wish you all success on that. Also, Michael Brown Sr., City Councilwoman Mary Sheffield, thank you both for your time today, and Mr. Brown, safe travels back home.